3 years ago, everything I knew was torn apart in an instant. My body broken, my independence gone, but in the wreckage he appeared, an unexpected presence that would alter the course of my life forever. The accident spared my life, but at what cost? Now as I lie in the silence of my home, it's not the pain in my legs that haunts me, but the closeness of his touch. Is this a mother's bond or something far more dangerous? And when our shared secrets begin to surface, how much longer can we pretend we are merely mother and son? 3 years ago, an accident changed everything for me. It took my legs, stripped away my independence, and almost extinguished my will to live. Yet, it brought him to me in a manner I could have never anticipated. To begin, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to my amazing subscribers. Their support allows me to weave tales that explore the intricate and unrefined aspects of existence. This tale is quite intricate. Stay close to my side. The doctor remarked that I had a stroke of luck. Fortune smiled upon me as the semi-truck narrowly missed turning me into a mere memory. Fortunate it is that my spine remained intact. Fortune smiled upon me that night, for my son Ethan was not in the car with me. It was a moment, they remarked. A humorous term for a lady who struggles to take more than 10 steps without her legs. Protesting loudly. In the days when Ethan was off to school, our quaint Ohio house seemed to stretch endlessly, echoing with the silence of his absence. Now it seems rather cramped. He seems to be all around us, preparing meals, fluffing my pillows, and gently lifting me into the shower when my strength fades. My son, my companion. Ah, but here lies the truth that often goes unspoken when one embarks on the journey of parenthood at the tender age of 16. In the passage of time, they eventually reach adulthood, truly elevated. Ethan, once a lanky figure, now stands at 19 with a sturdy broad frame that commands attention. His hands bear the marks of hard work, roughened by the toil of construction. His voice resonates with a depth that mirrors the intensity in his eyes. Those eyes, a mirror reflecting the essence of his father, the one who vanished the moment the pregnancy test revealed its secret. Mother. With a sudden burst of energy, I leap into the air. Ethan lingers in the doorway, cradling a steaming bowl of soup in his hands. It seems that lunch has gone untouched. My appetite had vanished. Seems you are never truly present. With a furrowed brow, he places the bowl on my nightstand. Your legs spoke today. I remained silent. He is aware. He possesses an uncanny awareness. He takes a seat on the edge of my bed, uninvited, and begins to roll up my sweatpants. My breath catches in my throat. The scars tell a tale of struggle, with their ugly twisted skin and jagged lines etched from the surgeries. Ryan's fingers dance in the air. May I? I give a knowing nod. The initial contact is precise, working through the rigid muscles encircling my knee. But then his thumb discovers a knot near my inner thigh, and I gently bite my lip. You're all wound up, he whispers softly. If only you could glimpse the depths of it all. With a gentle touch, he meticulously arranged my blanket, ensuring that I was enveloped in comfort. His touch was imbued with tenderness, just the right amount to stir my heart, not crossing the line but definitely igniting a thrill. It's merely the warmth of his skin, I remind myself. As the pain began to dissolve, a wave of relief washed over like the gentle ebb of the tide retreating from the shore. Yet, as his fingertips graze the hem of my shorts, the air catches in my lungs. Ethan halts in his tracks as well. In the span of a heartbeat, perhaps two. In that moment we remain perfectly still. With a deliberate clearing of his throat, he gently tugs at my pant leg, pulling it down. Improved? Absolutely not, indeed. Thank you, darling. He pauses as if there's more he longs to share. Instead, he lifts the soup bowl and departs. I gaze up at the ceiling, reliving those fleeting moments when his touch nearly ventured beyond the edge, and for the first time in years a new sensation stirs within me, something thrilling and perilous. The second time his fingers brushed against my skin, I realized it transcended the mere connection of our bodies. The morning light poured through the curtains, a bright and cheerful glow that clashed with the tempest brewing within my mind. Sleep had eluded me. Each time I shut my eyes, the sensation of Ethan's hands lingered on my skin. A warm callus remains, a gentle reminder of the journey taken. I reassured myself that it was merely a trivial matter, a young man lending a hand to his mother, a gentle hand soothing sorrow, yet the sensation of my skin igniting beneath his touch, that was not pain. The soft creak of Ethan's door down the hall pulled me from the depths of my thoughts, bringing me back to the present moment. I swiftly tucked the blanket around my lap as though he could glimpse the whirlwind of thoughts swirling in my mind, soft echoes of footsteps. Suddenly his shadow loomed large in my doorway. "You're up early," he remarked, his voice thick with the remnants of slumber. He stood there, bare-chested, with sweatpants hanging low on his hips. A tattoo wound its way over his ribs, a spontaneous choice he made last year without a word to me. I wrenched my gaze from the scene before me. Rest eluded me. Once more we find ourselves with Lex. "No. You." I gave a knowing nod. Ethan let out a deep sigh and entered the room, taking a seat next to me just as he had done the previous night. In a silent gesture, he drew back the blanket and let his hands rest gently on my bare calf. I recoiled. Apologies slipped from his lips, barely above a whisper. Chilled fingers. Yet it wasn't the chill in the air that set my nerves on edge. His fingers pressed into my skin, slow and deliberate, as if he were committing every curve and contour to memory. "You're tense in every way," he whispered. I took a deep breath. Last night, I could weave a tale that it was merely an accident. Yet, as the sun rose high in the sky, it became undeniable how he skillfully worked to ease the tension in my muscles, his sole aim being to alleviate the discomfort. How his hand glided along the curve of my thigh. "Ethan, take a moment to unwind." His voice resonated with a richness that was more profound than ever before. Take a moment to unwind. Allow your body to find its peace and rejuvenate. I was not resisting the soothing touch of the massage. I found myself in a battle against this, the manner in which my body responded to him, the moment my breath caught as his fingertips brushed against the hem of my shorts, the moment my stomach nodded as I felt his gaze upon me, not in the way a son gazes at his mother, but rather how a man regards a woman. With a single knock at the front door, the moment was forever altered. Ethan recoiled suddenly. "Are you awaiting a visitor?" "No." He rose, his muscles rippling as he reached out to the sky. "I shall retrieve it." I let out a shaky breath, feeling the lingering tingle on my skin from his touch. Whispers and laughter floated from the living room. Mrs. Harris, our ever-curious neighbor, inquired if we required anything from the store. With a courteous shake of the head, Ethan gently closed the door behind him. Upon his return, his face held a mystery that was impossible to decipher. "Do you think she has an inkling?" he inquired. In that moment time seemed to freeze and my heart ceased its rhythmic dance. "What is it that you suspect?" With a sly grin, he reveled in the moment. The tale of the casserole dish that remains unreturned. A lingering reminder of our unfulfilled promise from last month. I let out a nervous chuckle, my hands quivering, as a fleeting thought crossed my mind. Did he mean us? On that night, the rain pounded relentlessly against the windows. As the tempest raged outside, the power flickered and vanished, leaving the house shrouded in an eerie darkness. Ethan ignited the candles, their dancing light casting playful shadows upon his features. He settled next to me on the couch just within reach, and I could sense the warmth emanating from him. "Are you feeling cold?" he inquired. Not a deceiver. He gently spread a blanket over us, wrapping us in warmth and comfort. As we sat together, our legs gently touched beneath the surface. Neither of us took a step back. The wind lingered beyond the threshold. A tree branch clawed at the roof, reminiscent of fingernails dragging across a surface. In that moment, his hand sought out mine. Neither a mere coincidence nor a fleeting caress. His fingers intertwined with mine, strong and confident. In hindsight, I realize I should have stepped back. I did not. In the flickering candlelight, his eyes appeared as dark as the night. A cautionary tale, an inquiry, a heartfelt request. With a sudden hum, the electricity returned, casting a warm glow throughout the room. We recoiled as if a flame had singed us, yet the current that flows between us remains ever present. Just a single kiss. And in that fleeting moment, we were shattered and transformed into something entirely unexpected. When the lights went out, everything transformed. For 3 days following that night on the couch, Ethan and I navigated our space like two unfamiliar souls, respectful, cautious, yearning for sustenance. His gaze lingered on my lips as I spoke, a silent fascination unfolding in the air between us. His hands hesitated, a gentle touch as he assisted me to my feet. Once, in a moment of swift movement, I discovered him savoring the fragrance of my hair that lingered where it had softly grazed his shoulder. We were a spark waiting to ignite, and then came the thunderous blast. On a Tuesday it all began. Ethan stepped through the door, the scent of sweat and the lingering warmth of summer clinging to him like a well-worn cloak. He tossed aside his boots, the white t-shirt clinging to his chest, dampened by the sweat of his exertions. "Are you all right?" he inquired, his gaze drifting to my rigid form slumped on the couch, merely feeling a bit sore. I mustered a smile. It was a day that seemed to stretch on endlessly in silence. He approached with a gentle grace, lifting my legs and resting them comfortably on his lap. My breath hitched as his fingers pressed into my calf. "Your efforts are commendable, but perhaps it's time to take a step back and breathe a little," he whispered softly to himself. Proclaims the lad who single-handedly reconstructed our porch ramp when the insurance turned its back on us. There was a man who would lift me up and carry me to my room each night, as my bedroom was perched on the second floor. As his thumb pressed into the knot near my knee, I stifled a moan that threatened to escape. His voice carried a rugged edge. "Allow me the pleasure of looking after you." Yet this was not care. This was desired. I noticed it in the way his jaw clenched as my skirt inched higher, sensed the quiver in his fingers as they journeyed upward. As his hand ventured toward my thigh, I seized his wrist with a firm grip. We stood still, caught in the moment. His pulse throbbed beneath my fingertips. It urged me to cease. A quest awaits, a heartfelt request. I ought to have spoken those words. In that moment I could have easily pushed him aside, sought the counsel of a therapist, and buried the memory deep within. Yet I chose a different path, one that I didn't foresee. I was unable to do so, and so I released my grip on his wrist. His kiss was anything but gentle. It was a tempest of fire and teeth, a culmination of 19 years of emotions that at last found their release through the gentle embrace of understanding and care. His hands tangled in my hair, pulling me closer to him with an undeniable force. We exchanged a warm and tender embrace. Filled with a profound sense of gratitude and the essence of survival, it felt as though this was the only rhythm we understood for taking in the air around us. I inhaled sharply as my fingers sank into his shoulders. "Alas, it is not possible. We are already on that journey." He playfully nibbled my lower lip, a jolt of electricity coursing through me, igniting a fire deep within. "Do you sense that? There we are, and may the heavens assist me." Indeed, I sensed it. The firm pressure of him against my side, of how my body curved toward him much like a flower reaching for the warmth of the sun. This was not right. Such a misstep. Yet, as his tongue brushed against mine, my thoughts were consumed by a singular desire for more. Our journey never led us to the bedroom. Ethan pressed me firmly against the couch. His hips moved in a rhythmic dance as I grasped at the fabric of his shirt. The collar ripped, yet it mattered not to either of us. "Gaze upon me." With a low rumbling growl, he expressed his discontent. What I witnessed left me utterly broken. There was something deeper than mere desire reflected in his gaze. It was love, a feeling that danced through the air like a gentle breeze wrapping around hearts and igniting souls, the kind that shatters bones, the kind that etches itself into memory. In the stillness that followed as we lay entwined, the whispers of reality began to seep in. Ethan's fingers danced in gentle circles on my bare shoulder. "Are you all right?" "Absolutely not, indeed." He was aware of my deception, just as I recognized his lack of remorse. When he finally found his words once more, his voice was so soft that I nearly let it slip away unnoticed. "From the tender age of 15, my heart has longed for you." A chill ran through me, for it was clear now that this was no mere accident. It was a tale waiting to unfold. Some silences resonate more profoundly than spoken words. The morning arrived, its light piercing and intense. As dawn broke, I found myself awake before Ethan. The burden of our actions settled upon me, heavy and palpable, as if it were an object I could touch. The sheets retained his essence, a blend of sweat, sawdust, and an unmistakable hint of masculinity. My son, my source of strength, the one who remained by my side when all others had turned away. Oh, what have we wrought? In the heart of the kitchen he discovered me lost in thought, my gaze fixed on the coffee maker, as if it held the answers to unspoken questions. Greetings, he whispered, his voice thick with the remnants of slumber. My gaze was averted from him. It was unbearable to witness the softness reflected in his gaze, of the gentle warmth that was never meant to exist. Mom placed a gentle hand on my shoulder. Cozy. Known and recognized, incorrect, I recoiled in surprise. The pain that flickered in his eyes pierced through the heart more than the sharpest blade ever could. We danced around one another, much like celestial bodies tracing their paths through the vastness of space. He was making every effort to draw my gaze. His fingers would lightly graze against mine each time he handed me something. I find myself drifting away, constructing barriers with each soft expression of gratitude. And might I kindly request the salt be passed my way? By dinner the air was heavy with tension, palpable and suffocating. At last he spoke. You're punishing me. He gently nudged his plate aside. What am I shielding us from this point onward? My voice faltered. Oh, the glances we would receive if they only knew our tale, from the shame that will consume us whole if we allow this to persist. His jaw clenched with unspoken tension. I stand proud, indeed you shall be. That night I could hear him wandering restlessly in his chamber. The floorboards groaned softly beneath his steps. With every step, the sound reverberated softly through the fragile walls. And then a hush fell over the scene. The door creaked open with a soft click. Moonlight poured over the bed, casting a silvery glow as he lingered in the shadows. With his shirt absent, his chest heaved and fell in a rapid rhythm. I cannot feign. He spoke with a rough edge to his voice. Not alongside you. My determination faded, for I was unable to do so either. Silence enveloped the space as he made his way across the room. There was no necessity for it. Each gentle caress, each fleeting gaze, each ragged breath whispered truths that words could never capture. It was here that our fate was sealed, and we plunged in without hesitation. A year has passed, yet the neighbors continue to share tales of our remarkable bond. At the grocery store, Mrs. Jenkins remarks on the unwavering devotion of her son. He consistently shows great devotion to his mother, tending to her needs with unwavering love. I offer a courteous smile. As I delicately adjusted the bracelet he had bestowed upon me, memories of that moment flooded back. A symbol of our enduring connection as family rests upon my left hand. The figure who remains unchallenged, for it is a truth often accepted that single mothers seldom find new partners. Do they indeed? As we stroll toward the car, Ryan's fingers intertwine with mine, creating a moment that feels both tender and timeless. No one gives it a second glance. Ah, the mystery lingers in the air, shrouded in whispers and secrets. A question posed, yet the answer dances just out of reach, leaving us to ponder the unknown. And that's precisely how we prefer it.